South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sports book and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. For this Friday, it is, of course, heading up to a big weekend, not only here in Las Vegas, but a half a world away at the Saudi Cup, and of course Riyadh racing there, and of course everything going on here in Las Vegas. Plus, of course, Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks leaderboard points races that are up for grabs as well. So we welcome you to this Friday show. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world and the South Point Studios here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex here on the Las Vegas Boulevard, the Strip as you know it. We come to you live and direct from here. And if you're listening to us and you want to see us, especially this morning, because we have an in-studio guest, you can go to YouTube, get on South Point Studios, and you'll see and hear this show. And while you're there, hit subscribe. It is free. And we'd love to have you as part of our team here on the Race Day Show for this Friday. And, of course, our radio station, our anchor radio station here, for those of you driving around town and can't watch anything and listen instead, well, our anchor radio station here is Sports Talk 1400 AM here in Las Vegas and 107.1 FM as well. And, of course, we're all over the Internet. On our websites, we stream the audio at racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, .global. Your iPhone, your Android, they're covered as well with the KSHP app. Stick it on your device, and you can hear us now. And certainly, anywhere you get your podcasting, we're there as well. So however, wherever, whenever you get us, welcome to this Friday show as we ramp it up for a big weekend all over the world, coming to you right here through Las Vegas, Nevada. And we want to welcome a friend of ours, certainly a very important contributor to our show here. He comes to us via satellite most of the days, but he's actually here in studio with us. I want to welcome to the studio John Lendo, good morning, man.
Good morning, Ralphie. It's good to be back here in the South Point. I love it.
Yeah, huh? Isn't this neat?
I missed about 400,000 of my friends, apparently, for the Super Bowl.
Oh,
but,
you did.
I know you took care of them.
Oh, yeah, we had a great time here. The place was jumping, that's for sure. And I got to tell you, it doesn't let off because every weekend there's something going on in this town, that's for sure. The town's always full.
Absolutely. I mean, it's incredible what you guys have going out here. I mean, never a dull moment. And, before we know it now, March Madness will be kicking in.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball season starts. I know you can wager on the Masters out here.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good time.
We can wager on anything that's a sport here, trust me, my man, and that's for sure. And when you're sitting here in the studio here, you get to see all the action, people playing the slot machines, the race book, the sports book behind us that will be jumping when we're on the air even this early in the morning when March Madness starts, etc. So it just gives you a good vibe, a lot of good energy as well.
Absolutely. And you're with your friends. It's
Yeah.
fun here. And I tell you, when they open these ballrooms up for the viewing parties and everything else.
Oh, man. And we're going to have it, too, for the Kentucky Derby.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Now, of course, John is with us not only with doing the seminar on Kentucky Oaks Eve, right after the Kentucky Oaks card on that Friday, the day before the Derby, but also on Kentucky Derby Day, we'll be playing the races up in the big ballroom, just like they had it set up for the Super Bowl. It will also be set up that way for the Kentucky Derby. We're inviting you all out right now. Put it on your calendar, first Saturday in May. Get on down to the South Point and join us. And the day before, the first Friday in May, Kentucky Oaks Day, make sure to join us in the book to watch the Kentucky Oaks racing card. And then right after that, the Kentucky Oaks wrap up with us and the seminar that'll be in the Grandview Lounge here going over the Kentucky Derby. And I got a feeling, John, last year, just before not last year, but just before the Breeders' Cup, we had a special Breeders' Cup show here in this studio for everybody. I think we're going to do another one for the Kentucky Derby. What do you say?
I'm ready to do it. Let's set it up and get it done. And I tell you what, nowadays, I mean, we saw so many late changes in the Derby to scratch the morning of the favorite.
Yeah.
And, Forte, and something's always happening. So we'll update things as it goes along.
Absolutely. And with that little dimension where maybe some of the best 3-year-olds won't be showing up on the first Saturday in May in Churchill Downs because of the Bob Baffert ban, there's kind of a dimension, there's kind of a side story to that too.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, I mean, is this the Derby with an asterisk? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of asterisks going on with the Derby these days, that's for sure. But coming up this weekend, of course, the Saudi Cup tomorrow is going to be early, of course, because it's in Saudi Arabia. So it's going to be early here in Las Vegas, and especially on the West Coast. But I can tell you this, folks, right now, they are ready for the Saudi Cup right here at the South Point. The race book is going to be open. You're going to be able to play the races, the Saudi Cup card, the entire card that has, races that have $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, et cetera, purses to it. Big races all through the card. The final race will be, of course, the $20 million Saudi Cup. And, of course, that's got a great feel. But the book will be open early in the morning. Steve Anderson, who is the race book director here, tells me they're going to open up at 5 a.m. The book will be open up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. The first race for the Saudi Cup card, the Saudi Cup Day card, will go at 5:15, so you'll be able to bet on the very first race on the card in Riyadh at the King Abdul Aziz Racecourse. And, of course, all those races throughout that, all 9 races. And the Saudi Cup will go about 9:40 a.m. So we'll be on the air tomorrow as they're watching and playing the races right behind us for the Saudi Cup card. You'll be able to, they're going to take the bets there. Now, they are also ready to take advance wagering on the Saudi Cup today in the book. They are waiting for the approval from the Gaming Control Board to go ahead and do it. You have to have your regulations and the approvals from the association here. As soon as they give them the okay, now of course it's 7:15 right now, and most people don't get into the offices for government work until about 9 o'clock or so. But we're hoping that they can get that approval early in the day, so when you come to the South Point today to play the races, and don't forget Santa Anita is racing today as well. That you can, if you don't want to get up that early and come out here that early, but you still want some action, then you can bet it today. Advanced wagering. Not approved yet, But as soon as they put the stamp on it, should be sometime today, then they'll be able to do that. So you got the Saudi Cup covered from A to Z here, right here at the South Point. You don't have to go any further than the South Point right here. It's going to be a heck of a day tomorrow. And you're going to be with us in studio tomorrow, too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll pick up the Saturday racing forms today. When you come in and pick those up today at the South Point,
Yeah.
we should know. And I'll use my Twitter account. Once I know it's been approved and they can take the advanced wagering, I'll send that out on Twitter. So
Okay,
follow us on that.
And tell them where to get it now.
It's John Lindo60, John Lindo60 on Twitter.
okay.
And you'll see that later on when I make my selection.
Okay, and so we will obviously, as soon as we get the approval, John will send that out on his Twitter X account, what the heck ever they're calling it nowadays anyhow. Also being conducted, I would say right about now really, is the International Jockey Challenge in the Saudi Cup. Of course, we have Katie Davis, the first woman ever to compete in that Jockey Challenge from, of course, New York Racing. She's there. I've been seeing some of the tweets that they've been sending out. Her father, Robbie Davis, who is the father of Katie and Dylan and all the other Davises there. Anyhow, he took the trip with her, and they're having a lot of fun. And, of course, we've got a couple of other American jockeys as well. Remember, Luis Saez won it last year.
Right. Louis is down there right now. And Rad Ortiz, you're not seeing him at Gulfstream Park. He's down there. And a couple of guys from California. Joel Rosario, Flavio Prat,
yeah.
they're down in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
Riyadh. So a lot of interest from United States connections. But when you run a $20 million race, the guys they're going to show up.
Yeah. Especially, since we're paying for it through our gas tanks every day. But let's get some of that money back with the Americans. In any case, the International Jockey Challenge, 4 races in competition today, on their card today as we speak. Each one of those races, how about the purse, $400,000?
Not bad for a little overnight race.
Come on. And so anyhow, that's going on today. And, of course, all that Saudi Cup stuff tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow on the show, I'll press our handicappers to give us a pick in the Saudi Cup. It'll be way before the race actually runs. As I said, it's going to be the last race on the card. It will go about 9:40 a.m. Pacific time right here at the South Point. Make your plans to come on out early and enjoy the Saudi Cup racing. And I'll tell you what, I've seen some pictures of that racetrack. It don't look like it's in the middle of the deserts there. It's a gorgeous facility.
Well, you've got to think for that kind of money and stuff, they're going to put on a show. And I haven't seen it this year. I saw the one last year.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And the Saudi Cup is 1.1 miles around one turn.
Yeah.
So it's a huge facility.
Yeah, it's one turn is like 1.1 miles at Belmont Park.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a big loop and that's it. But it's going to be exciting, that's for sure. And maybe we'll go over the Saudi Cup card on the next break and just kind of take a look at it a little bit with Jonathan Ardoon was nice enough to go over that with us tomorrow, and Jonathan, of course, will be with us on the second segment. So we got John Lindo hanging out with us right here, right now. Jonathan Hardoon is standing by. I can see him on the monitor there, and of course, Rich Eng will be checking in with us. Jerry Jake will be with us today. This time, Jerry's going to have a pick, and for his races both at Santa Anita and at Aqueduct. So we got a lot to do on the show. One thing I did want to mention, we have a retirement of a horse that many people know. And, of course, that horse that retired recently is Slow Down Andy.
Trained by Doug O'Neill,
Yeah.
a California-bred son of Nyquist. He won the, I think it was the Awesome Again and the prep race for the Derby.
Yeah.
The Breeders' Cup Classic last year, had a minor injury, was back in training, and I guess he hurt himself. So not a life-threatening thing, and chances are he might be able to get a little time in as a stallion this year. No announcement where he will stand. But I think he'd be a good fit in California. A son of Nyquist to stand in California would be pretty cool.
Now, I know that we get on the subject of being overly cautious with track conditions and all of that because we don't want horses hurt on the racetrack, et cetera. But people, I think the people that are making those calls don't realize that these horses are living and breathing 24 hours a day, and they can hurt themselves in other ways at other places, just not there. Now, he sustained a sesamoid injury, which ended his racing career. But we talk about Echo Zulu. She got hurt in the stall.
It just, she was recovering from an injury on the racetrack.
Yeah.
But, she got cast in her stall, which means she kind of got stuck in the stall trying to get up, and she hurt her leg, and just an absolute shame. What a wonderful filly, and She was at Chino Valley Equine, which I know is a hospital out there in Southern California, and they do a fantastic job. So that was really, really sad.
They, just like any other athletes or any other people, we can get hurt doing a lot of different things. All right, we're going to go to our first break. When we come back, I'll get you your racing menu. And Jonathan Hardoon is standing by. So we're here on this Friday from the South Point Studios. John Lindo in studio, Jonathan Hardoon waiting in the wings. And, of course, we hope you'll be right back with us. Don't go away. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe if you haven't. It's free. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday, getting all ready and set to go for the big weekend that starts early tomorrow morning, that's for sure. Now, don't forget, in talking about the Saudi Cup, that's a half a world away, and that's fine, but there's some leaderboard points that are up for grabs for both the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. On Saturday, tomorrow, big day of racing at Oaklawn Park. The Rebel Stakes will hold 50 points for the Kentucky Derby leaderboard, and it is the most competitive and deep field of horses that I've seen in a long time. The Rebel, of course, last week's race was really competitive as well. And then, of course, you have for the Kentucky Oaks, the Honeybee Stakes, 50 points for that. That's also on the card. And then the UAE Oaks was held today. And, John, I think you got the results of the UAE Oaks. Was held at the racetrack in Dubai and Meydan Racecourse. And that had 50 points for the Kentucky Oaks leaderboard. John?
The winner was Manama Gold. This is a Louisiana-bred daughter.
Louisiana-bred.
By Star Guitar. So she was 1-9, went wire to wire, got a little bit tired late, but she held on for all the money there. And so very interesting to see a Louisiana-bred down in Dubai getting ready and getting some points. I don't know, Ralph, looking at that race, if she wants to go the Oaks distance of 1 1/8. But it'll be fun watching her try to get there.
Hey, she grabbed the Meydan money today, that's for sure. And the thing about it is, how did a Louisiana-bred get to Dubai and run at Meydan in the UAE Oaks? I mean, did one of the sheiks buy him, or just an American guy said, let's try it?
I don't know, but if you have a good horseman will find them.
You better believe it.
Believe me, there's a lot of money out there for a good horse.
All right, so she got 50 points for the Kentucky Oaks. Tomorrow in the Honeybee, another 50 points for that. And, of course, as far as the Kentucky Derby, the Rebel Stakes tomorrow at Oaklawn Park. Time to get started with the menu of racetracks available today in the Racebook. Simulcast centers racetracks around the country. First post times are Pacific. Not in it, adjust to it. I don't want you to miss anything, of course, like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay, here we go. Here's the menu of racetracks available today, right here in the Racebooks and across the country. We begin with Gulfstream Park. They've got 9 races. Their first post time is 9:10. They got a nice Pick 6 jackpot going on at Gulfstream Park. Their Pick 6 Rainbow jackpot stands at $357,877 and a first post time of 9:10 at Gulfstream. Tampa Bay Downs is next. Now, Tampa Bay Downs has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $8,338. They have 9 races. Their first post time is at 9:20. Then we go to Laurel Park in Maryland. Laurel Park has a first post time of 9:25 for their 9-race card at Laurel. And I see they have a Pick 6 jackpot carryover there of $932. Not a lot there at Laurel. First post time, 9:25. Aqueduct, the big A is next. Aqueduct Racetrack has 8 races today. Just 8 races at Aqueduct. It is cloudy, 44 degrees, they say at post time, and the track is fast. So there you have it at Aqueduct. First post time at the Big A for just 8 races set at 10:20. Oaklawn Park getting ready for the big day tomorrow. Oaklawn Park has 10 races today. Their first post time is 10:30. The Fairgrounds, New Orleans, has 8 races. Fairgrounds' first post time is at 10:45. 10:45 at Fairgrounds today. They have a pick 6 carryover, by the way, and it's a regular pick 6 carryover, not a jackpot, of $6,646. First post time 10:45. Sunland Park will kick in with 9 races from New Mexico. Sunland Park has a first post time of 11:25. Their Super High 5 carryover, $431. Then we get to Santa Anita. Yes, folks, Santa Anita is running today. They're back. Santa Anita's first post time for 9 races, 12:30. They have a Super High 5 carryover from Sunday. Their Super High 5 carryover, $10,461. That in the Super High 5 carryover at Santa Anita, first post time 12:30. Then we go to Golden Gate in Northern California. Golden Gate, they have 7 races today at Golden Gate, and their first post time at the gate is set at 1:45. Then we go to Turfway Park. Full fields. They still got a lot of horses there at Turfway. 9 races. First post time is 2:55 at Turfway Park, and they have a carryover at Turfway Park and their pick 6 jackpot of $59,638. First post time 2:55. Penn National is next. They got 7 races set up for Penn National today. They have a pick 5, a regular pick 5 carryover at Penn National of $3,700. That's a regular pick 5 at Penn National there, and their first post time is at 3 p.m. Delta Downs will kick in with 9 races from the Bayou Country. 3:15 first post time at Delta. And then we go to Charlestown, wrapping up the menu today. Charlestown races has a pick 6 jackpot carryover, $1,957. 8 races, first post time is at 4 p.m. And that's your racing menu for today. All right, John, what do you say we bring in Jonathan, huh?
I want to talk to Jonathan.
Here we go. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. Good morning, John. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, sir. Good to see you.
All right, Jonathan, anything that you want to discuss here before we get started?
No, we're all ready to go. You told
Okay.
me to save it for Wednesday, so I'll save it for Wednesday.
The soapbox. But you are looking ahead to the races tomorrow at Oaklawn. Of course, we already talked about the Saudi Cup and all that yesterday on the show with you. Oaklawn Park getting ready for a big day of racing there. And the Rebel looks like a pretty darn good, a lot of horses in the race.
Yeah, the Rebel is good. Listen, the race goes through Timberlake. He's coming off of a freshening for Brad Cox. He's been training well. The barn's been high on him all along. And if he comes back ready to go, and there's no reason not to think he will, he'll be very tough to beat in this spot.
So let me ask you this. With the name Timberlake, we know we're going to get a lot of variations of slogans going on. But should he win, but not win by much, would somebody say it's Justin Timberlake time?
I guess so.
I had to do it. I know it's corny, but I had to do it. In any case, of course, you have a full sheet for Oaklawn tomorrow, as well as you got 4 handicapping sheets today, right?
Yeah, we have Oaklawn, Gulfstream, Aqueduct, and, of course, Santa Anita.
All right. What about, you wanted to ask something about Santa Anita, I guess, the turf course. And, John, we're assuming they're going to run on turf. What's the weather going to be like there, though?
Weather's good today. It was nice yesterday, and the racing office had said yesterday if the weather holds as expected, they are planning to be on the turf today. It'll probably be listed as good, but until I see it on the board, I can't tell you for sure. But I handicap the races on the grass for the grass, assuming we're going to get a little bit of a give in that turf because they got about 3 inches of rain earlier this week.
Well, it's clear across the country except for the Mid-East coast, and I guess all that weather already went through Gulfstream Park there last week, and I would imagine the races are just fine for today, Jonathan, at Gulfstream.
Yeah, they are. In Aqueduct, we had some rain last night in New York and in the city, but not enough to have any effect. And we actually should make it through the weekend clear, and that's good. We haven't had that in a long time, whether it rained in California or Florida or snowed in New York. But this weekend, it looks like smooth racing all around coast to coast, and that's good.
That's fantastic, that's for sure. And I would imagine, I don't know about the weather half a world away, but I'm pretty assuming that the Saudi Cup and the Saudi card will be run well, too.
Yeah, I haven't heard any complaints about the weather there at the Riyadh racetrack. I'm going to assume we're good to go there in the desert.
Okay. Good enough. All right. Well, if you have nothing more to tell us today, by the way, you're going to go over the races at Oaklawn tomorrow for us, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, we always do on Saturday, so we'll do so again tomorrow. For radio today, we're going to look at Aqueduct first, and we are going to look at race number 4. Yeah, race number 4. This is 6 furlongs on the main track, and I like the number 7 horse in here. Mervaligoso, I guess is the way you pronounce her name. She's the number 7 horse here. She was claimed out of her last start by trainer Jimmy Ferraro, who's doing very well at this meet. The horse also cuts back in distance. Last time out, she was in the wrong part of the track. She had no shot. The inside was not the place to be, and you couldn't pass any horses. Now she cuts back, draws a good outside box. The price is right, 8-1 on the morning line. Number 7, Mervaligoso, upsets and wins today's 4th race out at Aqueduct.
Well, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name except to say just call him a winner. Number 7 in the 4th race. Let's get that horse home a winner. And as we talked about a couple of days ago, this Severa guy is riding very well, Ruben Severa.
Yeah, he had 3 wins on Monday, I believe, and he rides at Parks on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then he comes to New York for the weekends, and he's had a lot of success. He's doing well at Parks, and he's doing well in New York as well.
And what is that other jockey that keeps flying from California back to Parks too?
Jeremy Laprida.
Laprida.
So you got some jockeys. Yeah, you got some jockeys coming out of Parks that are going to other places and doing well. And by the way, Severa won those 3 races on Monday on the special President's Day card at Aqueduct. So he didn't go back to Parks on Monday.
No.
He stayed there and was competing against the big boys and doing very well. I had 3 winners there. All right, so in the 4th race, you like the 7, whatever you want to call them. The 7 in the 4th at Aqueduct. All right, what else?
Let's go to Santa Anita, look at race number 4, 6.5 furlongs on the main track. And I like the number 4 horse in here, Don't Bring Crazy. I just like the name of that horse, I really do. It's a 3-year-old filly from the Doug O'Neill barn. She makes her 2nd start as a 3-year-old. She ran well in her first race back. She gets the addition of Lasix today for the first time. She's listed at 4-1 on the morning line. Rider switch today to Frankie Dettori. I like number 4, Don't Bring Crazy, to win today's 4th race out at Santa Anita.
All right, 4th race, number 4, Don't Bring Crazy. Usually when I go out with my significant other to a party, they always ask her, are you bringing crazy? So this works out fine. So in the 4th race, the 4, Don't Bring Crazy. Frankie Dettori, it surprises me that Frankie Dettori doesn't have a mount on the Saudi Cup card tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. He's in town, and Juan Hernandez stayed here too. He has nothing back there as well. So little interesting that they didn't go in. I thought Antonio Frizu might have something.
Yeah,
because that's where he's from.
Yeah, Frizu and Dettori, I really thought they would because they race in that part of the country, part of the world before, and have had success, and certainly with the European interest that make their way down there, and of course all the rides they've been doing for Godolphin, et cetera, they have something there, but they don't. So
and a couple of weeks ago, Frisu went back there to ride one of those weekends when they had those big races there, and he was back at Santa Anita in no time. It's amazing how they fly across the world and are able to function. You know, I fly to Vegas, and it takes me 3 days to recover these guys.
Well, it depends what you do when you're in Vegas there, John.
Jonathan, there is a difference. You're squeezed in the seat in general seating.
They're laid out. They probably have their own cabin.
Yeah. Forget about their own cabin. They have a private vet jet that's taking them. Probably vet too, but they have a private jet that's taking them. I'm sure they don't have to go through security to get on their planes and go. So they probably sleep on the planes when they go back and forth. Yeah. But in any case, that Frisu thing was really odd because it was like, I think on a weekday or something, and it wasn't a stakes race either. He went out there just to ride a horse for somebody. I guess it was important, and then came back, right?
Right. I don't know what the whole story behind that was.
I want to find out the horse.
Well, we'll know. We'll find out.
It was probably an important client, you know, whoever it was. You know, if they tell you come and ride, you're going to have to come and ride because you have bigger fish to fry down the road.
Absolutely.
So you follow order.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jonathan, thanks a lot, my man. Get to work because we're going to be on tapping down the shoulder tomorrow for the Rebel card. That's for sure. Thanks a lot, my man.
Okay, guys, stay safe and be well. John, nice seeing you.
All right. You got it.
Good luck today, John.
All right, coming up next, we got Rich Eng standing by, and I'm sure that Richie has a thought or two about maybe some of the other big races around the country, and certainly we keep turning the screw for Richie as far as telling us what's going on with college hoops, because March Madness is right around the corner. Don't go away.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday. Beautiful weather outside here in Las Vegas. 44 degrees right now. We're going to get up to 66. And before we get to Sunday, I think we're supposed to hit maybe 70. So finally, we got some good weather going on here in Las Vegas. Just in case you want to pack bags and jump up here and spend the weekend with us and do it right here at the South Point where all the action will be in the race and sportsbook. All right, let's bring in John. John, you're here. Let's bring in Rich Eng. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralph. Good morning, John. And I was listening to you fellas talk this morning. Just wanted to reiterate, if you see my hat, Daily Racing Forum. I know you mentioned that the Saudi Cup program will be in the West Saturday Vegas Forum, and it's available right now in all the race books around town. So you can do a lot of advanced handicapping on a tremendous card.
Yeah, and they said they'll have the overnight sheets, which is something that we look at like a program. They'll also have that in the books early today. So I'm going to stop by and get all of my stuff ready this morning right after the show. But that's for sure. It's in the Western edition of the Las Vegas Forum, right?
That's correct, along with Santa Anita. And, it's going to take more time to handicap, fellas, because instead of these 5, 6, 7 horse fields, we're going to see 12, 14, 16 horse fields. It's going to take a little while to slog through some of these races.
Well, have you taken a notion? Did you take a look at the Saudi Cup? How do you figure that thing? I mean, that's a hell of a field.
You know what? I kind of glanced at it, but I haven't really dug into it, Ralph, so a little premature for me to comment. I've been putting my grindstone to basketball a lot lately, along with the horse.
What have you produced out of that grindstone for us today?
Well, nothing new other than, I have 5 tickets in my pocket.
Right.
And we put a post up about that on the show the other day. But the teams I have right now, just to recap again, I have UConn, I have Marquette, I have Kansas, Michigan State, and San Diego State. So there's a lot of meat on the bone. I bought Connecticut very early in the season, 18-1. They're down to about 5-1 now, Ralph. But I usually buy at least 6 teams. I had 6 teams last year. What I'm probably going to do is wait until Sunday, March 17th, when they have the draw for the tournament.
Selections, yeah.
And I'll see, the selection Sunday, because I want to see where my 5 teams end up. And if I have a region that's barren, then I'll probably buy a team in that region so I have somebody to root for there.
Well, let me ask you, I remember years ago, it was like a big holiday, like a big playoff when you got Duke together with Carolina, North Carolina. And but I don't hear that much about either one of those teams this year. How are they doing?
They're both doing really well. They're obviously going to make the tournament. They're probably. I don't see them mentioned as a number one seed at this point in the Joe Lunardi bracketology, but they're going to be a 2, maybe a 3, maybe a 4 at the worst. But, they've got the tournaments coming up, the conference tournaments, Ralph. That's going to jumble a lot of things up because you're going to see teams that are, on the bubble that all of a sudden win 3-4 games in a row, maybe win the conference, and all of a sudden they'll shoot up from a 8 seed to a 4 seed, that kind of thing. Yeah. So there's a lot of fluidity that's going to happen over the next 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, no question about that. And, of course, I think there's still shockwaves with Creighton winning the other day and a big win there, huh?
Yeah, we talked about that on the show and the fact that Creighton, they're a good team. They're ranked 15th in the country. UConn beat them badly at home, and Creighton wanted to get revenge, and they sure did. And the key to the game was they hit 14 out of 28 from beyond the arc. That's 42 points, and UConn only had 3 3-pointers, so there was a difference of 33 points. So that as I said the other day, that's the blueprint for a lot of upsets in the NCAA tournament. When you get the David, the small team hitting their threes, and the Goliath not hitting their threes, that can make a lot of difference in talent.
All right, back to the horses. We'll expect you to give us a thought or two on the Saudi Cup tomorrow. But for today, you got your sheet for Santa Anita, your handicapping sheet, the racedaylasvegas.com website. Just go there and click Richie's icon. What do you got for us today, Rich?
One last thing before I give my pick. When John, when you mentioned about Slow Down Andy, that was like a dagger to me because we just had our horse racing fantasy league on Tuesday night, and guess who drafted Slow Down Andy?
Well, you better get him on the waiver wire. It's time to find somebody else.
Slow Down Andy was picked by No Down Eng, that's for sure. Okay, give us a horse.
Let's go to Santa Anita, race number 9. It's a mile on the grass, and people have been following me all these years in the Las Vegas Review-Journal and on my sheet. I like a rail draw at a mile because it's a short run to that first turn of the race. So let's go with the 1, Mugi Sun, Umberto Rispoli. This horse doesn't quite, frankly, have a lot of early speed, but I think Rispoli will hustle just enough to get a pocket trip, maybe sit in 3rd or 4th, 5th down on the rail, save all the ground and rally late. So let's go with number 1, Mugi Sun, race 9, Santa Anita.
All right. I think there might be a Siraco play coming here. I'll just wait and see. But in the meantime, in the 9th race, you like the 1, Mugi San, the 1 in the 9th at Santa Anita. And, of course, get the rest of what Richie likes at Santa Anita today, right now, at the racedaylasvegas.com website. All right. Thanks a lot, Rich. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. John, good luck, everybody.
All right, John. Well, we're expected to go to you on the next break, and we will because you're right here. And we'll go and take our final break. And when we come back, it'll be John, and we'll get Jerry as well from his domicile. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Right, don't forget, on the South Point Studios feed on YouTube, we have 2 other great shows on this network. They are Punchline with Frank Nicotero, 5 days a week, happens from noon to 1 o'clock Pacific time, and I can tell you it's an entertaining show. You gotta watch that, as well as Sports by the Book, 7 days a week, because there's sports by the book every day. So Sports by the Book, Monday through Friday from 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, an expanded version for an hour and a half from 8:30 to 10 a.m., setting up your day of the weekend sports action, Sports by the Book, a definite if you're going to play sports, that's for sure. John, before we get started with a thought or two from you, I want to go to the leaderboard right now. We're going to go to the points leaderboard if we can get that punched up. For the horses with the top points right now before this weekend, you got Sierra Leone, of course, Chad Brown's horse at 55 points, along with Track Phantom, who has 55 points. And here's the deal about Track Phantom. Had all the prep races for the Kentucky Derby so far this year, and it's just starting. But there's only one horse that's won 2 of those prep races, and that is Track Phantom.
And he ran super in the Risen Star. He just got run down by Sierra Leone, who really stamped himself there. The key, Ralph, on those two, they've each got enough points now to get into the Kentucky Derby, so their connections can pick and choose how they want to get to the Derby. They don't have to go all in their next start.
Yeah, no question about that. Sitting in third is Fierceness, the horse that everybody was almost, making the Kentucky Derby winner as a favorite before the races start. He's got to come back and have a good performance in his next race, and I believe it's the Florida Derby, right?
I think he's waiting till the Florida Derby. I didn't see him on. He's nominated to the Fountain of Youth next weekend, but I don't think he's running there.
All right, 36 points there. Stronghold, a nice winner of his last race for Phil D'Amato, 25 points, along with Catching Freedom for Brad Cox. They also 25 points. Then you have Mystic Dan, that horse that ran up the rail for Kenny McPeek, who just got his 2000th career win. Kenny McPeek did. He's got Mystic Dan at 21 points. Hades for Joe Orsino, 20 points. Uncle Heavy with 20 points as well. And then rounding out the top 10, number 9, No More Time at 20. And number 10, Locked at 19. You know, Locked had a lot of pre-publicity. What's up with him?
He got sick. He missed a race. He's back in training, and we're going to see him pretty soon. Not only do we have the race tomorrow at Oaklawn Park, the Rebel, but we've got 4 preps next weekend, including the race at Santa Anita, San Felipe, and then you've got the race in New York. Was it the Gotham? Or I don't remember the name of the race in New York.
Yeah, I think it is the Gotham. And then, of course, the as you were talking about, the Fountain of Youth.
The Fountain of Youth. And then there's the Battaglia on a synthetic surface, a turfway.
Yeah.
So those numbers are going to change quite a bit.
Now, that's a week from tomorrow. It's really going to start to crank up because that'll be next month, which is March. And that's, now we're getting real close to the biggies, so that'll be next week. As far as the rest of the horses, West Saratoga at 17. Timberlake, who goes on Saturday, has 16 points. If he gets the 50, that'll get him right at the top at, 66 points.
And, just having that name, it's going to bring a lot of people.
I know.
It'll bring the public that doesn't usually get involved with the horse racing into the game.
Yeah, I can't wait for, never mind. Brad Cox, the trainer there. I don't want to start people getting all excited about, Kansas City and what's going on.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah, Just Steel, number 14 for Coach Wayne Lucas. Here he is again with a Derby horse at 15. Honor Marie is at 15, and those are the top 15, 16 horses. El Grand O also at 15, that Linda Rice trainee. But Brad Cox got quite a few on the leaderboard there. Now, also, the Daily Racing Form has a leaderboard for the Racing Form every week, and the leaderboard comes out on Fridays, which is today. And so, if I can grab my leaderboard sheet, we'll take a look at that as our man Sean will put up on the screen there.
And there's a new favorite as far as the Derby watch. Sierra Leone off that win in the Risen Star. He's now the current favorite, number 1 seed as far as the Derby contenders in Daily Racing Form.
Yeah, there you go. Sierra Leone. I guess he'll go in the Bluegrass next to Keeneland. Dornoch, who hasn't run since the Remsen, goes in the Fountain of Youth next weekend.
Yes, he does. And, again, there's going to be a lot of changes on this board the next week.
All right, and Locked also, they say, scheduled for the Fountain of Youth. Timberlake, of course, goes tomorrow in the Rebel. Fierceness heading for the Florida Derby, as you said. And Mystic Dan heading for the Arkansas Derby. He's going to stay on that Oaklawn route. He won the Southwest. He's going to stay right there at Oaklawn and go in the Arkansas Derby. Track Phantom has been doing his work at the fairgrounds in Louisiana. From the Risen Star, he's going to go in the Louisiana Derby. And then, of course, we have a whole bunch of the other horses that are pointing for those point-getting races. They need to get those points.
And, Ralph, one horse we need to watch tomorrow down in Riyadh in the Saudi Derby. That's a one-turn mile. But Forever Young from Japan, he's undefeated in 3 starts. He's a nice horse and a solid American breeding for 1.25 miles. And their path to try and get to the Derby is the Saudi Derby and then going down to the UAE Derby at Meydan City in March. So keep an eye and see how he runs tomorrow.
And we know the Japanese horses have been doing well on big race days around the world, and certainly we got our taste of that during the last 2 Breeders' Cups. And they have always marked trying to win the Kentucky Derby. Remember, they came with a lot of them, like
Derma Sotogake last year. Yeah.
And and let me tell you something. Jonathan Hardoon went over those races at Saudi yesterday, and he loves that horse in the Saudi Derby tomorrow.
I don't blame him. I have to get a good look at it, but I know that those Japanese horses have shown that they can ship to the desert and run well. So you have to take a second look.
And you win the UAE, you win the Saudi Derby, then go back and win the UAE Derby, and you got a big bank account on your way to the Kentucky Derby. What a triple that would be, huh?
And well, and the seasoning that you get, you know, going internationally and getting if you prove you can ship, race under different conditions, it takes you check that off the list.
Okay, well, I'll get Jonathan at the Rebel for the Rebel races tomorrow, and I'm going to tap you on the shoulder for the Saudi races after you get all of your, your form and your sheets and all that tomorrow. In the meantime, we need a horse from you. Don't forget, folks, John Lindo's Lindo Report that covers all the races each and every racing day in Southern California, a suggested late pick for, and all the goodie information available right now, right here at the South Point Racebook every Southern California racing day, and some bonus days with Gulfstream and other big race days right here, the Lindo Report. Only place you can get the Lindo Report on any of the Lindo Report days here at the South Point, free of charge, exclusively here, because they love horse racing and they love the Lindo Report as well. Hey, John, let's get an update real quick on jockey trainer standings, and then we'll get a pick from you.
Well, the jockeys remain tied. Flavien Prat, Juan Hernandez both have 32 wins going into this week. Antonio Frisu is third with 26. Mark Glatt, the leading trainer, he's had a huge meet, 18 winners so far. Phil D'Amato and Doug O'Neill right behind with 16. And Ralph, just for you, I can't believe the favorite rate has gone up. It's now 47% for the meet.
Now, come on. When are it's going to balance out? It's got to balance out. I mean, it's just human nature. I mean, come on. 47% favorites. Oh, my.
That's just, I've never seen a number like that after, 8 weeks or something like that racing? That's unbelievable.
It's amazing. All right, let's get a winner.
9th race today, I'm going to take on Rich Eng. Rich likes Moochie's son. He's the one to beat, but he's also run second in his last 5 starts. I kind of question his want to win a little bit, and I like number 3, Red Cross Knight, who gets a nice post switch from an outside post to an inside post. Good tactical speed. If he doesn't make the lead, he can sit right on top of the pace. And at 7-2 on the morning line, he's going to get first run on the favorite. I think he can get the job done. Number 3, Red Cross Knight, 7-2 in the program. 9th race today, Santa Anita.
All right. I knew you were going to come with that, and that's why I mentioned it, Richie. I got a Siraco play in the 9th and final race at Santa Anita. You like the 3, Red Cross Knight with Edwin Maldonado, 7-2 on the morning line. And Richie comes with the 1. So my Siraco play is the exacta box, 1-3-3-1 in the 9th at Santa Anita. And, of course, John has all the other goodie stuff right now, the Lindo Report for today at Santa Anita at the Racebook right here at the South Point, free of charge. And, by the way, come tomorrow and Sunday, you'll also be suggesting a coast-to-coast pick 5 between the races at Santa Anita and Gulfstream on the Lindo Report as well, right?
Absolutely. Already working on it, yes.
Okay. Now let's go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's so nice when John's in the studio because I can hear both of you talk back and forth. When he's not in the studio, I can't hear what John has to say.
And look at this. There's no logo apparel this morning. No logo apparel, nothing.
No, I'm just going stripes.
Okay. You're going to be stripes.
Horizontal.
It's a sponsorship opportunity, Ralph.
Yes, I know that. It is a sponsorship opportunity. He believes.
Right, there you go.
Okay. Anyhow.
I should have a big Jerry J's Power page across it. It's my own fault.
Yeah. Well, you see the cap, Race Day Las Vegas here. So, anyhow, sure. Jerry, I asked you to kind of take a look at the Saudi Cup. Have you done that yet?
No, I really haven't. Not yet.
All right. Well, we'll expect that from you tomorrow. Just a thought. Remember, I asked you for a thought on a big race last week or something. You came up with a nice play for us.
Yeah. Well, I'll make an effort.
Okay. Now, remember, remember, as John Lindo suggested and told me, reminded all the listeners out there, it is a 1 1/8 race, but it's a 1-turn 1.1 race on that course, which is like Belmont. It's a big course there. So I just want to let you know. And by the way, post position assignments are different than saddle cloth numbers there as well.
Oh, why not make it more confusing?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. But the racing form will have them in post position order.
Okay.
All right, so what are we doing today, Jerry?
Well, we're going to be at Aqueduct today. Rain last night. I'm not sure exactly what the condition is going to be. So I did the track for fast, and of course it's the P's and M's in particular. So people will adjust off of the M's. They'll go down a point or so. If it turns out to be a fast track, they'll leave it where it is. And if it turns out to be a wet track or a muddy track, they'll increase the numbers.
All right, Jerry,
So,
before you get started, they did post on their website already. They say the track is labeled, it's going to be labeled fast, about 44 degrees and cloudy at post time, and they have posted the scratches as well, so we'll let you get started.
I didn't look yet, so I'm hoping I didn't hit any scratches.
Okay.
But we'll see. Let's go to the 7th race. There's a really nice horse, 5-year-old horse, Petulant, coming in. First time at Aqueduct for Dick Dutrow. The full horse listed at 2-1, which is pretty short. But I'm kind of thinking he's, even money-ish. And should be running right off the layoff. So I like the 4 an awful lot. And the exotics are great with the 1, 5, 6, and 9. So I'm going to play the 4 over the 1, 5, 6, and 9.
All right, let me stop you.
Smaller.
Let me stop you there because there are 4 scratches in that race. They are number 1, Gentleman Joe. I'm sorry, that's in the 5th race. Number 1A, Divine Armor, 7th race. The 1A is scratched. The 2, Win It is scratched. The 5, Lost in Rome is scratched. And the 9, Anejo is scratched. So 1A, 2, 5, and 9 are scratched in that 7th race. And so you can adjust.
Yeah, so anyway, my play remains about the same. I'm just going to play the 4 over the 1 and 6, do reverse. I'm going to come back and press a 4, 6, 6, 4. What do you know? The 6 horse is the other Dick Dutrow horse that's uncoupled.
Ah, the uncoupled entry there, huh? All right, so you like the 4. You like the 4, Petulate. The 4 over 1 and the 6. The 6 is Law Professor. So you got the 4 over 1, 6, and reverse. In the 7th race, the 4 is your play.
That is correct, Ralph.
Okay.
Nothing I can do about it.
No, that's okay. That's fine. Okay, Santa Anita.
Okay, so let's go to the 8th race. Sergio Morphin is having a wonderful meet. Has the 8 horse, Wish They All Could Be. That's the 8 horse. Draws nicely to the outside. I think we're going 6 furlongs here. And this mare is in very, very good shape. And you can see from her form that once she gets in shape, she stays in shape. And she really runs her numbers over and over and over again. And we're going to play her to do the same today, particularly from that nice post position. So we'll take the 8 in the 8th race, play the 8 over the 1, 5, 7, do reverses 1, 5, 7 over the 8. But the 8, that'll be our featured play in the 8th at Santa Anita.
All right, 8th race at Santa Anita. The 8 is the key. The link-ups are 1, 5, and 7 and reverse. And, of course, the win bet is on the 8. Wish They All Could Be, the 8 in the 8th race at Santa Anita. Power pages for all of Santa Anita and all Aqueduct available at jerryjspowerpage.com, even if he doesn't have the logo on his shirt.
Right. Hey, one other thing. I have a star horse in the 9th that's not Richie's play. It's not John's play. So you go get the power pages, you get the star horse, and you have a 3-horse box.
I think I am. I think I'm going to do that 3-horse box. You do have a star play there, and it ain't the favorite in the race either. Good price on the
there you go.
Anyhow. All right, real quick, again, they will have the entire Saudi Cup card available here at the South Point tomorrow morning. The book will open up at 5 a.m., first race at 5:15. The Saudi Cup goes at 9:40 a.m. This is all Pacific time. And as soon as they get the stamp of approval from gaming, they'll be allowed to have advanced wagering on those races tomorrow, later on today. It's subject to the gaming approval, though. So we got to wait for gaming to do that. And we'll be here tomorrow with John Lendo back in studio and all our friends and all that good stuff. It's going to be a great time here in the South Point studios. In the meantime, Jerry, you have one more thing to say, and we're going to let you say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.